Undercover Billionaire Secret Lesson number 10. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. And today we are dealing with the Undercover Billionaire Secret Lesson number 10. So we already did 1 through 9. If you want to see those, go to brianjpombo.com and check that out. And you can also check out right here. More than likely you'll be able to see the links in the description. Along with that, you'll also see a link to dreambizchat.com. If you are a business owner or an executive that is in the self-reliance field, meaning that you have products and services through your business that help people become more self-reliant, go check out dreambizchat.com. Link is in the description, and or you could type it in directly and get straight there. So let me know what you think when you get there. I'm going to talk about the Undercover Billionaire. The Undercover Billionaire is a TV show. If you haven't got to see it, the first season just aired in late 2019. It's over on the Discovery Channel. Now, the whole concept of the show is that this person that is supposedly a billionaire, or at least close to it, is setting all of his safeties and all the things that have made him a billionaire, setting them aside and moving forward with nothing more than a pickup truck, a cell phone without any contacts, and a $100 bill. And he has to start and has 90 days to build a company from scratch up to $1 million. So how does he go about doing this? How does this all work? Well, you got to go and watch the show to really find out. It's a very interesting show, and there's a lot of great concepts, and I covered a lot of those in the lead up till now, the first 9 pieces. And there's a lot within the show where he comes straight out and says, hey, this is a lesson here, this is a lesson there, and goes through what he sees as some of the finer points that he's displaying during the whole storyline, during the documentary. Now, what I went and did is kind of pulled out some of the things that I don't think he put as fine a point on that I thought needed repeating at least. And this 10th one is one that you will not see there, or probably behind the scenes or anywhere else. And although there has been some chat here and there, and that's what value did he have that he could not get rid of? What are the things that were valuable that were never discussed, but were extremely useful to what he's done, or what he was close to being able to do, or what he achieved? I mean, you got to watch the show to see if he actually made it to $1 million. And what did he have that made that possible, that could be slightly invisible to most people? One of the main things he has is he has the confidence, and you cannot throw away a person's belief in whether they can do something or not. Now, a person will tell you that has made it somewhere. They say, well, I believed before I made it happen. Before I was able to become a millionaire or a billionaire, I believed it was possible. And I absolutely agree with them. I know that they believed it. But the toughest thing for most people to be able to achieve any type of financial success is a lack of belief. There's always a piece there that they just don't fully believe that they can do it, or that they're in the right situation, or that the powers that be aren't going to get in their way. He already had that belief. He had that confidence from his previous experience. That's not something he could just take out and set aside. He had it. He knew it was possible. He knew that he can go about doing this. Now, the real question was, could he do it in 90 days? I mean, that's what it kept going back to, is that deadline. Without the deadline, there's no doubt in my mind, and anyone that watches it can see, that he'd be able to do what he needed to do. It may have taken longer if he didn't have a deadline, and if he didn't have some of these things really that he couldn't set aside. So one of the things he could not set aside was when it came to legal purchases. There's no way he'd be able to use a fake name like he was using most of the time. He was using a different last name. He was basically using his middle name as a last name. And he can't do that when he went about and bought a house, when he And quite possibly, he probably didn't get away with that when he was renting an apartment. More than likely, they'd want to see some ID and so forth. So none of that's possible. He had to use his real name in those situations. That just legally and every other way, he had to do that. And when purchasing a house, especially since he did not have a full-time job, he didn't have any form of assets other than some hard cash that he had developed during the show, he had really no backing to be able to get a good deal on a loan for his house. The only way he could have done that was by being who he was and having his background. Now, that doesn't take away the idea that it's possible that a person can't go and jump from trading cars to eventually trading houses or flipping houses or anything like that. That's absolutely possible. But it would take you a little longer. It may require you to have a full-time job or to build up enough capital to be able to get that type of a loan. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do something like that. And they kind of gloss that over, and that's kind of necessary for the sake of the TV show. So he had confidence that he couldn't ever set aside. And it's something that's very valuable, and that's something that you can create yourself. He had financial backing, credit, and so forth that he couldn't set aside. And to be able to purchase a home with a loan, he had that ability that not everyone would be able to do right off the bat. Okay, so those pieces aside, there's a third thing that he had that is extremely powerful, that all you had to do was kind of step back and say, wait a second. He had media presence the entire time that we're watching him. We know, because we wouldn't be able to watch him if there wasn't someone with a camera. And the way it was filmed, there were multiple cameras. And in some parts of the show, they've pulled back and even showed that on top of there being cameras, there was a producer or director or someone hanging out and making sure that the camera people were doing the right thing. So he had a crew following him around. Now, how they built that into the story is he told people that he was working on a documentary. But that's powerful. That form of media draws attention. That form of media could possibly cause people to do something for free that they wouldn't normally do, because they're in the public eye and they know that this might be going somewhere. If this is a documentary, that means I'm going to be in a movie. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be out there, and that could be useful to me. And everyone around him saw that. They couldn't get around it. Whether he was working in the homeless shelter in the first episode, not a homeless shelter. It's a soup kitchen, or whether he was gathering people to help out, or whether he was going to the small business agency. All these things, everyone is going to treat you differently when you've got cameras around you. Now, how could you use this? How could you use these things? Well, number one, you have to keep an eye on your own belief system and your own confidence level. And you have to think about what it's going to take to develop your belief and confidence so that you can have as close to the confidence of a billionaire before you set out to go and do something, even if it's not going out to create $1 million company. Okay. Number two, realize that it's going to take time to build up those things that he already had going. It took him years to build up his credit lines and everything else to be able to do the things that he's able to do pretty simply and pretty quickly in this show. And number three, media is something you can develop. Look at what I'm doing right here. This is media. Okay, I can introduce people onto this show, which we haven't done a whole lot yet because we've been doing them live. But in the future, I'd like to have interviews. I'd like to have other people on the show. If you'd like to be on the show, let me know. But we'd like to have other people on the show. Who's going to turn that down? If they have anything any message that they're trying to get out, any business that they're trying to promote, then media is your friend. You're going to want to be around it. And nowadays we have the ability to create our own media. We can do it with our cell phones. We can have a podcast. We can do anything we want because of the internet, it's making it wide open. You can have people walk around with cameras, whether they're running or not, and say that you're filming a documentary. You're going to get a reaction similar to the ones that he got. So just keep these things in mind. Just because they are advantages that he had doesn't take away from the points, the very clear-cut points and principles that are laid out throughout the show. Highly recommend it. Can't say enough about Undercover Billionaire. Go and watch that show. And go and check out all the other videos we got over at brianjpombo.com. And come back again. We're doing this thing every day where we get together and have a little chat. Hey, you have a great night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.